Hi, it's Jez here from Nigezza.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm bringing you the card that I made for the Kylie Bertucci's top 10 international blog hop winners. So I was in the top 10 and this was my entry to be voted for, and I've done a video on that. Oh, I've bent a bit over from where I store it. So that there is a tutorial available to that. I will link to it. But this is what I've made for the blog hop that I was on yesterday, or a couple of hours ago, in fact. So yes, I'm going to make this again. But I'm going to make a few changes because since making this card, the embossing folder has arrived. At the time of making my pre-order, this wasn't available in the UK, but I have since bought it, so I'm thinking I'm going to emboss this one, just to see what it looks like. Okay, so I've used the Snowflake Wishes die. I like the pun. Is it a pun? Well, it's a bit funny and it's a bit dad jokey. Thank you so much. And that appealed to me. I liked it. And of course the matching dies, which are so many snowflakes. Very apt title, given that it's just full of snowflakes. And I've used this die to cut, used it that way indeed, to cut that sort of centre bit out, and then I've put some vellum in there, which sort of give it a sort of a bit of a floaty look. Okay, so changing the colour as well, I'm going for Misty Moonlight this time. So I've got a card base somewhere. Got it already, and now it has disappeared like that. Got everything I need here, shape, Where's the card blank? It was here. I promise you I was ready. It's underneath my big shot. So this is a Whisper White thick card base, and I will be cutting that out of the card base, and then once it's cut I'll run it back through the big shot with, I'll take the die off, and obviously the inside will come off, and then I will emboss the snowflakes on it. Okay, I'm going to use all these little dies to cut snowflakes. So these three smaller ones, and I've actually done it in advance to be quick. I've cut some Misty Moonlight snowflakes ready, and then the vellum piece on this card, I cut it using the largest stitched framelit, and that sort of fits nicely over it. Of course, if you haven't got these, you could just cut a rectangle to cover it. So that's what I did, and that's already cut out, prepared. So done a bit of prep, so that's ready to get stuck on. I have also embossed it, so I'm going to I love the way that looks, so I'm going to decide whether or not I'm going to use that. And so therefore we need to stamp. I'm using the stitched shapes. I use these all the time. I'm using that second smallest one because that fits nicely in, and it also fits nicely the sentiment. So I've got a scrap of Whisper White for stamping on. Another thing that appears to have just gone vanish from my prep. Let me move my big shot. It's underneath my big shot. There we go. So I've got my Misty Moonlight. I've got it mounted, and I'm just going to stamp that, and then I can do all the die cutting and embossing all together and whip it all together for you. There we go. Thank you so much. I will probably send these out as customer thank yous, and as you can see, that fits beautifully inside there. It would also fit inside a 2-inch circle punch, I believe. Yeah, it will. So that's that. So I'm going to get those all die cut and embossed, and then we'll come back. So there we are, all embossed. And I didn't realise until afterwards, I actually put that die in a different position, so it's going to look different again. So yes, and that's the bit that's cut out. That's the bit that it looks like, and then I've cut that out. So we are ready for putting together. So I've got to decide whether or not I want a snowflake embossed background or a plain background. I'm thinking I'm going to go for plain. I'll save that for another card. I think plain would fit better. So we're going to stick that on the back. I'm going to use a little bit of Tombow. I've got my Tombow decanted here into a small bottle. So I'm just going to put a small bead of glue around the edges. We do have a fine tip glue as well, but I actually really like these bottles, and I like Tombow. So I've also got every other glue that I use for different things in one of them as well. So stick that on there. And you can stick a whole, no you can't. I was going to say you could stick a whole piece of white over this, but you can't, because that defeats the object of having the vellum there. My thoughts were possibly one of those little electric tea lights behind it, so it shone through, would be quite nice. And then we've got our little snowflakes. Oh, just dropped one. And so now we're going to do it differently. So the big one I had on its own, but up there, and then I put these little ones around there. What have I just done with the other one? I picked it up and now it's gone again. How does that happen? It's there. I lost it because that's similar colour. So I'll put that like that. So it's just a different way of doing it, but I think that works just as well. I'm just going to get my bone folder and re-establish that crease. There we go. So I'm going to get these stuck down. So there is quite a nice sort of thick bit. Get glue down to the bottom. Come on. Usually keep it upside down so the glue's already there. A bit round there. And then just blob each one of these ends. Works well. So I'll just stick that on the corner. And then what I like to do is just get one of my blocks, stick it on top. Do the same here. I've got a nice big space in the middle for blobbing. Blob on these. Put blob on the ends to keep it down. Apart from the end I'm holding, of course. just a little one. Big blob there, not quite what I wanted. I have a bit of ooze in there that's unwanted. Like so, and I used my Highland Heather marker on some pearls. I don't have the Misty Moonlight marker, but I do have the Night of Navy, and I thought that worked. I did one in the light Night of Navy and one in the dark, and oh, they're joined together, aren't they? And I thought they worked quite well. Oh, I need two more, don't I? Oh, oh, that's moving. I was watching a friend do a video the other week, and a bit like me, they managed to ping, that's not going to fit, Jess, ping their embellishments all over. It's like, yeah, glad it's not just me. So these may well ping. These are really old, actually, which might be one of the reasons why they ping. I've got two now stuck to my finger. That's pinged. It's pinged there, I can see it. Right. Need about 6 million hands here. So that's on there. Sticky on there. Right, so that's those bits, and so all that, I don't know what that was doing over there. All that's left now is to stick that on there. So I'm just going to pop it up with a couple of dimensionals. I've got some ends here, so we'll use some ends. Just struggle with my fingers so badly. There we go. Some days better than others. Might stick another one up there. There we go. And if you want to, you can stick a circle on the other side to cover up the gubbins. I'm not going to bother. So put that straight. There we go. Is that end bit stuck down? So that could come up a bit there, so it's lent on there. So I overlapped those. There we go. So that's the two different cards, one embossed, one not embossed, different colourway, done slightly different. So not sure which I like best. I think I was right not to go with the snowflake embossing. Wonder if we could see what that might look like through there. No, we can't really, but I think just the plain looked possibly better. So all the details will be over on nigezza.co.uk, and I'll link to the blog hop so you can see what everybody else has made in the Kylie International Highlights blog winners blog hop. And thank you to everybody who voted for my card to allow me to take part in this blog hop. I do appreciate it. I was chuffed to bits, absolutely chuffed to bits and blown away. So first time I'd ever entered, so yeah, was so excited. So thank you again. All links to be to my shop down below and over on my blog if you wish to buy any of these things. It's just a beautiful, beautiful set. This is the Poinsettia Petals and this is the Snowflake Wishes a bundle. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, see you again soon. Bye-bye.